Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play LOTRO with me, Balthelion. So today we're starting in exactly the same place we started the last episode, which is in Nankurinir, outside the little cave entrance here with Ondor, where once again he's going to have a couple of follow-up quests based on the quest that we did last time. So we have Captain of Fangs. I finally found the Goblin in command. He's up that stockade to the north. It's a bit tricky to get in there without being spotted by the guards though. Your best chance may be to sneak in through the caves behind the stockade. The goblin calls himself the Captain of Fangs or some such. If you can defeat him, it will still be a while before anyone leads a raiding party out of the Vale. We have a second quest. This is not the work of a cook.
Greetings, traveller. Will you stay a moment?
So this is making that little recipe that we found last time. No cook worthy of the name would create a recipe like this. I suspect your cook is more of a mad alchemist with a penchant for poisons. Now, we all know that goblins and wargs are not known for being particular about what they eat, and though most poisons would not bother them much, this little spice might be enough to muddle one. Perhaps this cook would be a bit easier to deal with after a taste of his own provender. So there we go. So we've got the cook is inside. The goblin we need to kill is literally on this big rocky outcropping inside like a big metal tent up there. But we're going to nip inside first. And then we can basically just go through the caves. And then, yeah, one of the caves brings us out somewhere around here. The other one's up the top. So if we come out of it, either the middle or the upper cave entrance, we should be a lot closer to our quest objective. So inside the cave we go. And as always, the cook is in the first room on the left-hand side, this big room over here. So we just have to wander our way through. There's probably going to be a patrolling mob or two. There's one on the corner. So let's just murder him, otherwise he probably won't follow us because he's a ranged mob. There we go. Carry on. So basically we don't... Oh, we do for the quest have to kind of poison it to essentially debuff him. I think it halves his morale or something like that. But we'll soon find out. Because otherwise he's a pretty high health mob if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 22k. It's a reasonably large amount. Let's just gather these two ads. Might as well, since the warg's going to aggro on me. Die. You die, sir. I love the noises goblins make. They're not screaming at the top of their head like the war boys from Mad Max. They're always making some weird, like, gurgly noises or something. Right, so if we interact with this and then just take a back seat for a bit, just come over here. So wait for the goblin cook to taste his brew. So at the moment, what does his debuff say? Increases the morale of nearby goblins. Huh? Smells pretty good. Let's see how it's coming along. And now he is eating it. Hook! That's got a little kick to it. Multiplies maximum morale by 1. That's not really true. It's halved his morale though, because he was on 22k, he's now on 11k, so he's a bit easier to kill. So now that we have injured him, made him a bit easier to kill, we can actually finish him off. Not that it would have been difficult to kill him with 22k anyway. So there we go. So we've finished that. We can go back into the main corridor. Now we probably want to come out. We could come out this entrance here. That should bring us a bit closer. So that's more or less just opposite where we are now. So this is the main corridor coming up. We're going to turn left and immediately turn right. And this should take us inside the Goblin Camp, but on the southern side. So let's see where it brings us out. Fairly close, I think, yeah, because I think the other one's up here where this little bonfire icon is. So if we mount up, just head out this little bit here. So that's the main entrance over there where we were collecting mushrooms last time. Here's the entrance. But we're going to go up and around and further into the camp. And we're probably going to carry a little mob train through the camp with us. We'll try and minimise how many things we aggro, if it's all possible. So yeah, on this bit up here, I'm trying to think where the second cave entrance is. Oh, this is the northern cave entrance where we are now. So it's actually here. It's actually not that far, not that further up from where we were. we're going to have to try and weave our way through here. We're grabbing a few mobs. And in this big kind of like... It's like a metal cage, really, rather than a tent, but they've just kind of draped a bit of cloth or something over the top. A bit of leather or something. Okay, everything else is reset apart from this one warg. So we'll murder him. And then we've got the Captain of Fangs, who has 22k, so sadly we can't make him drink some nasty poison. But really, it's not really too bad. So we shall spank him quite nicely. And we shall probably loot that wooden chest that's behind him as well. It's just a generic loot storage thing, like a backpack or something that's on the floor, or a corpse. Might have a couple of things that are vaguely interesting. Donk, he's dead. Get a few crafting items or something out there. There we go. Okay, so if we mount back up, we need to head back to Ondor. Now we can probably fling ourselves off of this cliff. Probably to mixed results. Let's get as low down as we can. Actually, this might not be too bad, actually. I might not even break my legs at all, if I play this right. Fantastic. So we're going to ride out the main entrance to the south. We're probably going to get a few of these guys following us, but hopefully they'll reset by the time we get to Ondor. But yeah, so one of the things that we've been doing this week, actually, in the Kim with a couple of the guys, is one of them wanted to get the Mistress Egg housing item from the Mistress, the final boss in the Dunland raid, which is a level 60 raid. So he was quite happily soloing the raid, and he can manage to solo it on his own with a level 120 character. But because the bosses are split up, it's not linear. Like 3 of the bosses are kind of in different areas, and you have to kill those 3 bosses. Well, you don't even have to kill those 3 bosses to get to the last 2, but it makes those last 2 bosses a lot harder if you don't. So basically, 3 of us were in the raid, so we each picked a boss, went and soloed our own little bosses, and because I killed mine first, the last 2 bosses, the blind one and the Mistress, I basically just stealthed past all the mobs to get to the blind one, murdered the blind one before they'd even entered the wing of that raid, and we probably soloed the raid in probably under 10 minutes or something. Each of us soloing different bosses. It was probably the fastest and funnest DN run we've had in a while. I've run well past Ondor, not paying attention while I've been dismounted. But that was certainly a fun little raid. And he actually got the drop on that first attempt as well, the lucky git. And in typical fashion as well, we actually had quite a few of the really rare pieces of jewellery drop as well. And this is jewellery that, back in the days of level 60, you would run this constantly every week with much difficulty, spending a couple of hours raiding the damn place, and then you'd never get that one piece of loot that drops, or it does drop and then somebody else rolls higher than you, and it used to be a nightmare. And now we don't care about these items, and they're still bound to the character anyway, so it's not like we can give them to our all characters. But in typical fashion, they all drop now as well. So
I am at your service.
It is a relief that the mad goblin will not be brewing any more vile poisons. So he has got a pair of gloves, some silk leggings, which are probably going to be pretty naff looking. Let's just equip a shirt so we can see what it is. So it's like the runekeeper kind of leggings. Or we have a bracelet or a necklace. I don't really care which one I get, just click.
Come and stay a moment, friend.
So again, we've got another follow-up quest, and this is to deal with the wild puppies. The evil matron of this particular wild pack has unleashed yet another litter of the filthy beasts upon the world. She may not look like much, but when I was sneaking about earlier, I saw her pup strip the flesh off an entire ox in just a few minutes, which gives me an idea. That evil spice you made, there is a bit left, yes? A light sprinkle of that into the pup's next meal ought to keep them subdued while you deal with her mother.
At your service, and your families.
Well, that should finish our work here. We will need to head into Isengard soon if we intend to put an end to the goblins, though. So we can either have a pocket item, a G-based one, a necklace, a cloak, a bear head cloak, or a bracelet. Come on, I clicked it.
Greetings, traveller. Will you stay a moment?
And again, we've got the follow-up quest. This is just going to take us back to Dagoras. So, well, Pendulous, since we have done what damage we can here, it's about time you meet back up with your friend Dagoras. He said he would be headed towards the gates of Isengard and could probably use a hand there. So I have to meet up with him. So, inside the cave we go, and I think this is the last quest that we have that will go inside the cave. But this time we're going back into the little warg room. So if you guys remember, not that one, it's this one over here in the southeast. So it's your first room on your right, not too far from the entrance. So we're going to nip inside. We're going to make a few friends on the way in. We'll just gather them up. And we have to interact with this horse meat that's in the middle. So we don't actually have to fight the pups. Let's just murder these three. Go. Oh no, he's not dead. He's not dead! He is now. Give it them. Right, so if we interact... Oh, no. Oh, well, no. That went horrible. Okay, fine. We'll kill you all. Well... Screw it. We didn't even need to interact with me. But yeah, if you don't want to fight them straight up, normally we should have been able to get a bit closer to that without anything aggroing. But it seemed the matron herself aggroed, not the pups, which was a bit odd. But yeah, if you interact with that, step back. I think the pups just go up to it, they eat from it, and then they just spontaneously die or something. So you don't have those extra ads, because if you are a class that doesn't have any AoE, you might struggle a bit to kill those quick enough. But as a champion I can just AoE and the pups die pretty quick because they're just kind of swarmy sort of mobs. So let's hand this back into Ondor.
Well met, friend.
Well, that should take care of the matron then. I'm afraid her pups are probably too tough to expire to even a single dose of that spice. But I don't think I could bring myself to kill up a bunch of pups anyway, even if they are wargs. I will regret that in a few months, when they are gnawing on my entrails, mind you. So, yeah, kill them now. Save yourself the hassle, sir. We have a pair of gloves, which has some limited kind of engravings on it. We have some more boring gloves. We have some boots, fairly plain boots, and we have like a kind of like a Knights Templar kind of chainmail head covering thing. So hand that in. So that's all he's got. So we need to go now and meet Dagoras at his little mini camp near Isengard. So he's just scouting the main gates. So if we wander over here and try not to aggro too much, he should be hiding behind a log or something if I'm not mistaken. Just somewhere out of sight. No, he's not. He's in the open. Oh, he's by log. There we go.
Welcome and well met, my friend.
Pendulous, so you have made it this far. It is good to see you well, for this vale is treacherous indeed. I have yet to find a way into Isengard unseen, but I have spotted someone unusual headed towards Isengard by the road. We will want to watch carefully to see what transpires.
May go on and stay a moment and speak with me.
Hearken to me, Pendulous. One of Phaedrad's men, by Grimbold's command, is on his way to parley at the gates of Isengard. It would seem that Saruman would prefer to avoid this meeting, as there is a band of particularly unsavoury half-orcs skulking along the road. You should clear the way for the emissary, for I would also like to hear what Saruman has to say for himself when confronted. So, we have an area slightly southeast of where we are. And we need to defeat 10 Half-Orc Ambushes. And I think these guys are going to be flinging me up into the air quite a bit. With their, I don't know why they're wielding basically a torch. But a torch on a staff. Like they've just nicked it from off the walls inside Isengard and brought that with them to go fight with instead of using a proper weapon. Not that necessarily the Orcs really wield proper weapons. They just fight with any old pointy piece of metal they can scavenge and find. But yeah, these guys should be fairly plentiful either side of the road here. They should be relatively easy to spot as well, since they are carrying a big torch. But yeah, there should be more than enough, unless you're having to fight with somebody else to get some kills. Yeah, so if you haven't used this week's store code, the coupon code in the store, it is the word morale, as in morale pot, morale potion. Type that in and you will get yourselves 5 universal morale potions. So these things here, which scale according to your level, and they restore morale and power and can be used every 20 seconds, so they are quite nice. So any freebies is worth getting. It's not as great as the reputation accelerator that I think we got last week or the week before. But anything you can get free with your coupon codes is worth using. So if you're not familiar with those, there's a new coupon code that comes out every week. They usually get announced late on a Thursday evening, at least European time. So make sure you use that either Wednesday or Thursday before it goes out of date, otherwise it'll be a new coupon code for the next week. And if you haven't used the one coupon code that came with update 23, which is the code START MINING, that's one word. I will type all these in chat in a second. So it's the words, blah, blah, blah. So morale like that, and start mining like that in the bottom left. Okay, and that will give you a cosmetic helm, and I think that code is valid until the end of 2018. So got plenty of time to redeem that one. Both those codes are 1 usage per account. The cosmetic housing item, I think it binds to your account, but you can obviously pass that around your characters, mail it between your characters, put it in shared storage, put it in your shared wardrobe, to get your usage out of that. And the morale potions as well will be bound to account, so you can shuffle them around your characters. You don't necessarily have to be on the character that you want to use them on, but you can only redeem that once per account. So this is number 8, and we'll get number 9. Pew. Oh, he's going to be ranged, that's typical. I thought I could be cheeky and group them up. We're out of power. Second wind. Go, and dead. No, not dead. Not enough power. Power? Power? Any skill? I don't really care what. Can you just auto attack him? Something. Come on. Finish him. There we go. So mount back up, head back to Dagoras, and we should have a quest next. I think it's going to be a little instance quest where we can go and observe the MSA coming in. I don't know why I'm running towards the Canard deposit. That's not the NPC we're trying to interact with.
Your aid is welcome, friend.
Good work, Pendulous. It appears that Grimbold's man should make it through to Isengard, but he will face a far greater danger when he approaches the gate itself. If rumour is to be believed, Saruman's voice has the power to bewitch those who hear it. Take care of yourself, Pendulous, though I am certain that you already know the danger.
Greetings. If you have a moment, I have need of your assistance.
And I should already know the danger, because at this point Saruman's tried to use his persuasive voice on me inside Isengard, when I was a prisoner back in the day. Grimbold's emissary will arrive shortly. You must escort him to the gates of Isengard, and ensure that no ill befalls him there. Perhaps we shall have some answers as to the full extent of Saruman's treachery at last. Speak with me when you are ready to meet the emissary. So, continue onwards.
An emissary of the Rohirrim approaches the gates of Isengard, hoping to learn the true intentions of the wizard Saruman.
Grimbold told me that you were last seen heading into Nankuranir, Pendulous, but I confess I did not expect to encounter you here. While I was sent alone to avoid raising the ire of Isengard, I had a distinctly unwelcome feeling since I entered Nankuranir, and I think I should welcome some company before I reach the gates of Isengard. I can scarce recognise this vale. It was once green and beautiful, as we saw in our flashback. But sadly, this man has not been lent a horse, which he probably should have been given one if he's going to go and do emissary duties. Some dark mood has seized the will of Saruman if he has allowed this to happen. He didn't allow it, sir. He ordered it. is by his will. So we're going to step up to the gates, and we're going to see in the distance we have two massive trolls. And these are also there inside the normal world. You don't have to be inside the instance to see these two trolls. I think there is a hidden deed for killing them as well. I have to try and work out what those are. I can't remember if I've done that. Are those trolls guarding the gate of Isengard? No mood is this, but madness. What purpose could Saruman the Wise have for servants such as these? And in typical troll fashion, it needs to be pointed out. Thankfully, we don't have a troll called Scum, or Scum, however you want to pronounce it, since that is a popular troll name. But this guy on the right here, Barashal, is the name of one of the bosses in the Khaldun instance, but he wasn't a regular kind of troll. He was, what's the word I'm looking for? Gerthrig. One of the, like the tall, I don't want to say skinny trolls, but muscular trolls, whatever. I'm pretty sure we've seen something else called Ufdrag as well, but yeah, slightly less common troll name. What is Saruman thinking? To yoke trolls, ever the servants of the Dark Land, to his cause. I had feared he had some ambition to bring Dunland under his sway, but this... We would speak with Saruman. Will he not come forth to speak with an emissary of Rohan? Sir, I think we should back away slowly. Stand fast, Pendulous! Though I fear this may be the end of us. Now, the trolls briefly come into combat, but they're called off by their master. Hold! Let our visitors be. There is much to occupy my attention at this time, Ordware of Rohan, but ever shall I advise those who require the aid of my wisdom. So tell me the mind of your Lord Phaedrid in these difficult times. Bear in mind this is before the epic. Phaedrid sent his greetings and apologies for trespassing upon Nanconir unlooked for, but his concerns are great as war brews. He fears that we know not the purpose of our old friend in Isengard, and yet we see his hand in many mysterious matters. And here I find a desolation as if war had already come to this vale, and servants of the dark proportion in your retinue. Evil times have come indeed to Isengard and far abroad. The wise prepare for war, as none can mistake the clamour of the hosts of Mordor awakening. When Sauron's power rises, each lord would be well advised to see to the defences of his realm, lest it be the first to fall. Yet while Theoden stately sees to his house, his wayfaring offspring scurry about, meddling in the affairs of far estates. Will you not withdraw from this foolish confrontation with the unruly Dunlendings? What scrap of land so concerns you when darkness gathers across the lands? Do not remain on my account, for as you can see, Isengard is well defended. Of course, Saruman, forgive my impudence. Ordware looks shaken. He's a bit shaken. He has fallen. Come on, resist, sir. I shall fish slap you out of it. Fish slap. There we go. Come on, snap out of it, sir. Saruman is right. If the power of Mordor is rising, we should not be here. It would be best to leave the ford to the wild men and reinforce Meduseld. You do not believe him? Surely Saruman means to aid the Rohan in this dark hour, and we will see here that his strength is considerable. It may be, as you say, and the darkness of this place brings doubt to my heart. Do we dare trust our borders to this wizard, who so hides his purpose behind strange and perilous guardians? Come on, sir. Snap out of it. Wait, Saruman. We did not come looking for aid. We came to know your purpose, for your intercessions with the Dunlendings, and for this... the Vale. My purpose is not to be questioned by the likes of you, Ordware, nor shall I reveal it to you yet. But know that when it comes to fruition, these foolish wars and pointless conflicts will end, once and for all. And this world will once again move forward in prosperous order. As for Isengard, you need not fear what you see here, for it is nothing more than a tool, a gear and a great engine to fulfill my purpose. There is much afoot, and I have no more time to waste in idle banter. Tell Phaedrid to return to Meduseld, for if he remains among the ford, even the wise cannot foresee the outcome. I Very well, Saruman. I will convey your advice to Phaedrid, my prince. Oh, one other thing, Pendulous. Do not imagine that your continued meddling has not caught my eye. You would be well advised to return from whence you came, before you become involved in affairs beyond your ken. Now go. See you later. I'll be back to raid your fortress later, sir. So we have to speak to him on the way out. I will convey Saruman's message to Phaedrid, and I hope that he will follow Saruman's advice, but I do not think he will. I fear we are destined for war, no matter which way we turn. Yeah, war and more beyonds. I must return to the ford now, Pendulous. I wish you would not remain here in this forsaken place, but you have your own business to about. May fortune ride with you. There we go, so hand this one in.
Welcome and well met, my friend.
Such is the influence of Saruman's voice upon the unwary. Even now I find myself wishing to believe the truth of what he said, though I need but look around myself to see these dark intent. I do not know what words Ordware will return with, but I fear it will only serve to confuse matters further for Phaedrid and Grimbold as they weigh their next choice. So we have a chest piece, we have some trousers, an earring, or a ring.
May go on and stay a moment and speak with me.
So we're going to be sent onwards to a new quest hub in a second, but I think that's probably enough for one episode. That's gone on quite long enough. But I hope you guys have enjoyed that, and until next time, I will see you guys later.